All right, today is June the 2nd, 2019, and right now at 11:10 p.m. we have a temperature of 61 degrees here in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 66%, the dew point is 49 degrees, and the barometer is up slightly at 29.85 inches. Right now we're looking at the northeast Pacific water vapor loop. We can see an area of low pressure moving around counterclockwise over the California, Nevada, Utah, and Idaho area right here. This has been here for about the last 4 days, parked in place, just spinning counterclockwise. We can also see the eastbound jet stream flow, which is all through right here, is being redirected. We have high pressure installed right basically on top of this low pressure, and that is preventing a lot of the precipitation that we should be having here in Southern California. If we look at this up close here in the western U.S. water vapor loop, we can see that detail a little bit better. We can see a lot of moisture flowing back around and down into the Southern California area, but yet there's no precipitation. In fact, this afternoon when the clouds cleared, we could see the jets upspring, and there was some pretty heavy chemtrail aerosol spraying going on today. And the last 3 days, the previous 3 days, the same story. We should have had rain, precipitation the past 3 days because of this low pressure right here. Let's go ahead and look at the pressure maps right now. Uh, here's the surface map, and we can see there is an area of low pressure indicated right down here near the Arizona-Mexico border. In this area, this is all low pressure. LA is right here. Los Angeles is right over here. We can see the high pressure installed out here in the East Pacific. That's redirecting the jet stream up into Canada. The 500 millibar map, we can see that low right here. And we also see the squiggly lines. These isobars should be smooth flowing lines. None of this is natural. This indicates atmospheric manipulation at the 500 millibar level, which is around 18,000 feet. All right, so we see a lot of manipulation occurring right on top of this low pressure, and that's what these squiggly lines are telling us. So we know there's a lot of atmospheric manipulation going on from those satellite transmitters. Next, we have the 300 millibar map, the upper level map. We can see this is a closed low, and we also see these squiggly isobars. And this is why this low is not producing any precipitation. It's being squashed. If you go back to the big map right here, or rather the western U.S. map, we can see what's happened here. This eastbound jet stream is being rerouted. Normally, higher pressure always flows towards lower pressure. We've got an upper level low right here, but yet we're seeing a blockade. This is an engineered, man-made blockade right through here, and that is preventing any of this eastbound moisture from getting anywhere near that vortex. So we can see there's a basically, I call this an electronic blockade because that's exactly what it's doing. It is preventing any moisture from getting into that vortex, separating that moisture. So if we look here at the infrared loop, we can see what's happening. None of this is getting anywhere near the center of this low, which, by the way, is being squashed, and we can see the evaporation taking place towards the final frames right there, right towards the end of the loop. Everything just sort of vanishes from this area over Nevada and California. Okay. So once again, this giant mid and upper level low should be producing a lot of precipitation for California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, and Arizona as well. But we can see the manipulation here. There's high pressure installed out here in the East Pacific, which is evaporating all this moisture, which should be wrapping back around that low. We can see the tail end of it right here is recondensing and flowing back towards low pressure, which is actually right here, but they've got a blockade. The weather controllers are controlling our weather, and they are generating all this very strange activity, which is not natural. As I say, higher pressure always flows towards lower pressure, but look what we're seeing here. There's a blockade built in right there. And so there it is. Next, let's take a look at the the National Hurricane Center map, we have a disturbance with a 60% chance of hurricane formation in 48 hours, 60%. So we're going to keep an eye on this. This may become the second named storm if my memory serves me right. We had about 3 or 4 weeks ago, there was a named tropical storm out here, which quickly fizzled out. It was moving out into the Atlantic. Today we have a disturbance, so we're going to keep an eye on that. This is forecasted to move to the northwest towards the Mexican coast here in the next day or two, so we'll keep a good eye on that. Looking at the this is the long wave infrared imagery for the continental U.S. We can see a lot of severe weather over Texas and New Mexico. The map doesn't extend down far enough to get a good look at what's happening here in the southern Gulf of Mexico, but right down here is where this disturbance is brewing up. Here we see the counterclockwise rotation, and towards the end of this loop we can see all that evaporation just mysteriously vanish, despite the fact that we have a closed upper low pressure system right in this area. So there's a lot of chemtrail aerosol spraying going on to mop up and dry out the upper atmosphere. All right, getting back to the big map, we can see right out here the Hawaiian Islands in the clearing. We've got some high pressure in this area, which is, you can see a lot of evaporation right around the islands. There is a low that we've been watching this for the last 2-3 days. There's a low that was trying to spin up. That is being squashed. We can see the evaporation pattern right there, just east of the Hawaiian Islands right there. Okay, so that's the report. Let's go ahead and look at got the jet stream map right here. We can see the flow pattern out of the Aleutian Islands and being rerouted up into Canada because we've got that high pressure installed right off of California. Let's take another look at that here real quick, and we can see right here we've got that high pressure, which is squashing this low. This has been in the area for about 4 days, as I mentioned. We should have got some rain from this. This is basically just a rerun of what we saw last Saturday. Okay, that's it.